Hi, everybody. Welcome to this exclusive podcast session. We have a very special guest today, and we are going to have a wonderful conversation about various things. He's an actor, director, a producer, and one of the finest businessmen we have seen. Let's welcome our guest for the day, Mr. Sanjay Khan.
दो दिल संभालो बन के बादल आसमां पे बन के बादल आसमां पे.
Sir, first of all, thanks a lot for joining us in this interview. And I know that it's after a long time that you will be giving an interview. So, first of all, I'm very honored and at the same time nervous because I'm sitting in front of you. I'm going to ask you some questions.
Not at all. Thank you very much for asking me to give an interview for your podcast. I'm happy to be with you. And please feel free to talk.
Bilkul, sir. It's
Whatever
an
you
absolute
like to
honor.
ask. Just treat me like any ordinary person.
I'll try my best.
Don't be dwarfed by my persona or my personality.
Jeez. Very good.
Please.
So, first, I want to ask you about, you started your career long ago in the film Dosti, where it was a massive hit and everybody liked you a lot. But I want to understand one thing in the life of a star. When did you realize that, yes, I have achieved that stardom? I have arrived. Sanjay Khan has arrived. Can you tell us about that moment, that feeling that you got?
It's a very good question. I remember after I finished Dosti, it was a smash hit.
Mm-hmm.
I came to Bengaluru. On Commercial Street, I was sitting in the car.
Okay.
My cousin walked into a store to buy something. And a lot of people collected and started staring at me,
Okay.
smiling. I was wondering, why are they looking at me and staring and smiling? Then I realized, maybe they think I'm a movie star.
Mm-hmm.
So it didn't occur to me that I was in the budding stages, the initial stages. I've just
Right.
broken through.
Mm.
And they rushed to me with their autograph books.
Mm-hmm.
Then I realized that I'm an actor. So
Right.
that was quite an experience. I still remember, yes. Mm.
So, what was the difference between the stardom of post Dosti and post Abdullah? How was it different?
See, the initial recognition,
Ji.
the thrills, then you get absorbed.
Mm-hmm.
The whole time, people turning heads, coming up to meet you, shake hands, ask for an autograph or a chat or take a picture. So that became routine. So the taste of first,
Yeah.
they
We'll
say
always
that
remember
the
the same.
taste of first kiss and the
Yeah.
first love.
Yeah.
Excuse me. So it was always the thrill of the first sight, and the
Right.
first recognition. I look back and I remember that the most.
So, sir, talking about how your career evolved, I just want to bring your attention to what's happening today with regards to the film industry. Like you said, there is a confluence of North, South, East, West, and of course, there is the rise of OTT platforms that's coming up. So, what reminds me is that how you took a giant leap towards TV by starting the Sword of Tipu Sultan, because in the 1990s, TV was a more recent phenomenon. Was that a risk you were taking? What was the thought process behind doing Sword of Tipu Sultan?
See, in those days, I remember when I had purchased the book from Bhagwan Gidwani,
Yes,
The
sir.
Sword of Tipu Sultan.
Right.
I wanted to make a film out of it.
Okay.
But fortunately or unfortunately, the film industry was going through doldrums.
Okay.
Entire industry was closed. Rampant piracy.
Okay.
And the producers did not know whether to open shop or close shop.
Mm-hmm.
They were confused.
Mm-hmm.
So this state of affairs lasted for quite some time. And I said, why should I wait? Why don't I make this into a series? And I changed my mind from a motion picture. I said, let me make it into a series. When I started the series, my film colleagues said, why are you taking the small screen? Why have you chosen the small screen when you are a star on the big screen?
Right.
I said, maybe there will be a time in the future the small screen will dictate the big screen, which is happening today.
Absolutely.
So I feel very happy when I look back on those thoughts which had occurred to me. It came to me then. And today it's a fact.
Right.
The television industry is the mother industry which is feeding the film industry.
Right, right.
So that's how, from the big screen, I came into the so-called small screen.
Right.
But the reach of my screen was far greater and far bigger and larger than my films.
Right.
For example, the 3 series which I made are all super hits.
Yes, yes. Jai Hanuman and
Jai Hanuman I followed with the great Maratha.
Right.
If you see the records, there's percentages even now. Jai Hanuman is 9.5 out of 10. And Maratha is also in the range of 9.
Right.
And Tipu used to be 10, but it's now in about 7.5. So the ratings are very high. My vis-a-vis my films have reached the highest rating of 6 to 6.5, 7.
Right, right.
So films today, film is film. Film will be always ever. It will never die. And I am planning very big films now.
Okay.
2 major films.
Okay. Can you tell us about that, sir?
Yes, I would be happy to. You see, I have a film which I have written the script of a screenplay. And it's on a warrior of the Indian Army.
Okay.
I won't give you the details.
Yeah.
But he died at the age of 36 as a brigadier.
Okay.
The youngest brigadier to die in action in the Indian Army history. Without him, we would have lost Kashmir.
Achha, okay.
Yeah. Defending a place called Jhanjhar.
Right.
He saved it for India.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, it's a very poignant story.
Is it a biopic or?
There is a biopic.
Okay.
It's a true story.
Okay.
And I'm very happy I'm making it. So this is one. The other big magnum opus which has always been in my mind for the last several years is a film on Lord Rama.
Wow, okay, okay.
I feel so far all the films which have come out on Lord Ram have not justified his aura and his majesty.
Right, right.
And the narration has not been in the right true spirit. Though I'm hugging the Valmiki line, but my presentation is so huge. It was rated by a top rating agency. They've given me 99%.
Okay, okay.
So that will be a big film which I may not direct.
You may not direct.
Yeah.
Okay.
I am looking for an international top director.
Okay.
Why? Because I want to spread the canvas all over the world.
Absolutely, yes, yes.
See? And I want the international people to see it, everyone.
Right.
So because when I read the script which I have written, even today, I get goosebumps.
Okay.
You know?
Right, right.
It is so awesome. In today's days and age of politics and religion and all this is very touchy to me. I don't think that's this way. I can make Tipu Sultan, I can make
Yeah, completely.
I can make Jai Hanuman.
There's a range of that, yeah.
Yes, and Jai Hanuman is a very interesting story. I had gone to a mandir, Hanuman mandir, at the invitation of the Mahant.
Okay.
It's near Samod village. And Samod town, we were shooting in a palace. And I was signing autographs after my 13 months of confinement in the hospitals.
Right.
I'd just come back for shooting Tipu. And one Mahant walks over to me. He had a very pleasing aura and personality.
Okay.
Lovely, large brown eyes. And there was a lot of humanity in his eyes. So I made him sit next to me. Then he says, "Sir, I have prayed for your return. कि मैं आपके लिए प्रार्थना कर रहा था कि आप सुरक्षित लौटें." I was touched by this sentiment. And I said, "Where are you from?" He says, "I am Mahant in a mandir on the top of this hill. And I'll be grateful if you could come and give darshan to Lord Hanuman." Immediately I said, "Yes, I'll be very happy. I am from Bengaluru. I've grown up seeing Hanumanji in every nook and corner if there's some statue or the other. And I'll be happy to." I was sitting in the mandir. I see the miracle. I was so weak that to give a shot, two people used to help me get up and face the camera, speak the lines, and I used to sit down and take a handful of pills every day. And I had to climb 400 stairs and then 3 little hills. And then reach this mandir, still in existence near Samod Palace. I don't know what happened. I said, "I will come as soon as I get strength."
Right.
You believe me, in 2 weeks' time, I started feeling very aggressive. I said, "I must go." When I suggested to my nurse, she said, "Mr. Khan, you'll get a heart attack. I will not advise you to."
Right.
I said, "Please, let's go." So when I reached this place, I saw his beautiful silhouette on the orange canvas. It was not a statue. Made in charcoal. I was very impressed with the way I was looking at his eyes. And the priest sitting next to me, was chanting the Surya mantra, which I remember by heart even now. So he was, suddenly I heard him chant in a Muslim prayer. I was quite surprised. I looked back. I said, "Mahantji, you are very learned?" He said, "Yes, sir, I have read the Quran."
Wow.
In Hindi. Touched by this, an inspiration came into my system when I was walking back. I said, "I must make a film on Hanumanji." And in the afternoon, when I was sitting for makeup, and this actor who was playing the Prime Minister's role, Mahadevan, Ananta Mahadevan, was also sitting close by. I said, "Anand, I'm going to make Hanuman, Jai Hanuman." He started laughing like a I don't know how to describe him, like a jackass.
Right.
I said, "Did I say anything funny?" He said, "No, sir, this is Nautanki. Everybody has seen. Every year you see they celebrate this. How can you?" I said, "No, that's not the point. The point is, have you seen Bal Hanuman on the screen for the last 100 years, 120 years, from the advent of cinema?" He says, "No." I said, "Exactly. That's the point. Nobody knows Bal Hanuman." So I got a brigade of pujaris and mahants from Varanasi. They came down and stayed with me for almost 20 days. My first question to them was very interesting. I said, "Please tell me, who is Hanuman?" He said, he is the 11th Rudra avatar.
Okay.
That the curiosity, I said, what is the meaning of 11th Rudra avatar? Then he went into the whole story.
Yeah.
It amazed me.
Hmm.
I said, this has been kept back. And I decided to make the first 20 episodes.
Hmm.
If even today you see it, it looks very fresh and nice. Dedicated to Bal Hanuman. At the airports, I used to walk. Hindu ladies used to come and touch my feet. I used to get a little. I said, please, you're embarrassing me. She said, no, we are not embarrassing you. Please don't be embarrassed because you have shown us something which we did not know. I said, like what? He said, we thought that Pavan is the father of Lord Hanuman. So Pavan was not the father.
Right.
He was Kesari Nandan. Kesari, the king, was his father. And Punjakstala, the court dancer, she changed the avatar and she becomes a mother. So this was information which my learned friends in all top circles, they did not know. They said Pavan Putra. So therefore, this picture became such a huge hit. It made me more money than all the 3 films I put together, which I made. 10 times more.
Okay.
I used to get offers, even Tipu Sultan made me a lot of money. And I used to wonder in those days why I was wasting my time in films when I'm making so much money in these 3. Even Maratha gave me good money. And all these 3 were very challenging subjects for me.
Absolutely, yes.
See, Marathas are known for their defeat at Panipat.
Yes, the third battle.
But what led to the defeat? Why did the invincible Maratha army, such a huge first-class army, how were they defeated? What were the reasons? So I got the whole details on the canvas by extensive research and gave the factuals. And a lot of people praised me for my work. The government of Maharashtra gave me a gold medal for that.
Right.
People should know why the Marathas lost. It was simple, because of the disunity.
Right.
Disunity. Night, they were all together. When Sadashivrao Bhau, the commander, went to his camp to sleep, they all left their camps with their men and left him alone. So, to inspire unity of India, this was my message. That's why I kept the character Maharji Shinde. Maharji Shinde was a unifier. So these all 3 subjects had some message. It was just not sheer blockbusters,
correct.
Jumping from buildings and diving and cars getting smashed, skulls getting smashed and killing and so therefore I believe in making a cinema which has substance with entertainment and value.
Coming to that point, when I usually talk to filmmakers or even actors, I want to know what is their process when they write a script or even sit down for direction or even choose a film. What goes through, what is the process like, sir, for you particularly?
See, for example, this film which I'm making on this Brigadier, the working title is Brigadier. I was quite intrigued when I was reading the military history of the Indian Army about this particular Brigadier. Then I started doing research. Then once I do the research, then I have got to make the screenplay. How to start it and how to progress it. And the challenges are, okay, you have a storyline, basic storyline, but you have to give some infusion and you have to create something to match the story. That is known as taking a license, and so we had to create a lot of stuff in between, but mostly 90% of the storyline is pure story.
So tell us your thoughts on the changes that are there in the current film setup. We are seeing more content-driven cinema, something that is more relatable to the audience. Be it using foul language in the film or in the OTT, or the fact that so much of reality has been shown on cinema. So at one point, it goes to the position of being banned as well. So are you catching up with the trends of what's happening in the cinema, and are you writing accordingly? Tell us your thoughts.
You see, cinema has evolved over time.
Right.
And I must say the plus points. In the last, it started in 32, and today is 23. Less than 100 years, Indian film industry has become the largest film industry in the world.
Correct.
By the very fact of the number of productions.
Right.
Number two, the quality of Indian films have improved. Technical excellence, acting performances, even scripting.
Right.
Earlier days, the scripting was very bad. And but somehow, the influence of the American cinema is unfortunately being idolized by some of our makers, and they're taking those lines. Like they will say, a freaking hell, Everything is F and B in most of the American films. So they started taking chances here. Just okay, I'll also say something equivalent to that in Hindi. But I personally am much against it.
Okay.
To an extent, if there is some keeping up with the modern trend, to an extent, if something comes once in a frustration, moment of frustration, some thinking, what the hell you did this? Say in those ways, not to take just pleasure out of it. In the sense, it should not be termed as a pleasure instrument. Every 2 seconds you're using F and that's not good conversation. I don't think that's good cinema at all. So, but most of the good American films don't show this. For example, Ridley Scott films and other big films, they don't show all this rubbish. But the other genres are there. And for example, in Godfather, if they use the word F, it's very appropriate, very appropriate place where it's necessary to say that.
Right.
I think in Godfather 2 or Godfather 3. So, use of profane language in the cinema should be refrained as much as possible.
Okay.
If you can express the same thing in a different, word, I think that is excellence.
So you're saying that it should be Indianized or should be avoided completely?
No. You can speak, of course, Indianized. Indian language is Indian language. But if you speak like the way the Americans speak, even the ladies and men, and they sit in bars and everywhere at home they speak in front of the children. They can't do that.
Right.
It's not good. It doesn't sound good at all. You can't be sitting with your sister and your mother and somebody else's wife and some daughter, and in their presence, a man speaking in that foul language.
Right.
It sort of permeates a kind of a very hot, ugly air to the atmosphere, which disturbs it. And people may not realize it, but it's not done. So we must try to avoid profanity as much as possible. Otherwise, Hindi films, South Indian films, Tamil, Telugu, Kannada, and Malayalam, they are doing very well.
Right.
And one of my favorite films is Pushpa.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
My grandson He's quite a guy. He's very intelligent, and he has seen Pushpa 50 times.
Okay, okay.
And he'll tell you the exact lines and exact happening. He remembers everything.
Right.
Even how Pushpa dances in that one chappal.
The song, yes, yes. Srivalli song, yes.
So I enjoyed seeing Pushpa.
Right.
Okay, there was some profanity there. But with the characters, they come from a low class. Okay. And the innocence of the uneducated lot catches you.
Right, right.
And the characterization is so perfect, seamless, so beautifully done that when you picture comes to an end, you feel sorry that the picture's coming to an end. You want to see on.
Continue watching it, yes.
Continue it. So, see, good films are there. So, a lot of co-productions are happening between North-South.
Yes, yes.
And I'm also planning to see and look for a good partner who would like to, or from Tamil Nadu or from Karnataka or Kerala or Telugu to partner us in some good productions.
Right.
So the film industry of India is definitely on the way up. But we should watch that we should not become slavish in our productions and language use.
Correct, correct. Absolutely right, sir. So who is your favorite actor in the present generation that you see, particularly from the Hindi film industry?
Hindi film industry, there are very good actors like Shah Rukh. I think he's a good actor. Ranveer Kapoor.
Okay.
Ranveer Kapoor.
Yeah.
And they are very, very good actors.
Right.
And even the female actors are.
Right.
First of all, I'm quite against the word actor to be used for an actress.
Okay.
So this is kind of an ego drive. Actor.
Actor and actress.
Actress. See, I come from the old school.
Yeah.
Actress sounds more delicate.
Right.
If I call her act girl, or she's an actor. She's an actress. It's an old expression is better than the new one.
Right.
And coming back to the thing, then Alia is a very good star, very good actress. So, and Padukune.
Deepika Padukone. Yeah.
She's from Bangalore.
Yes.
And I enjoy watching her films. She does very well.
Yeah.
And Kareena Kapoor.
Right.
All of them are very good, most of them.
Right.
And Amir Khan was a very good actor. And of course, famous Tiger Zinda hai.
Salman.
So, he's also Salman is quite popular. And they're good actors and good lot, and good makers are coming up. For example, Vidhu Vinod Chopra is a good director. Sanjay Leela Bhansali is a good director. And also the director of Three Idiots,
Rajkumar
Hirani. Is not only a good person, but he's a very good director.
Yes.
So we have
release coming up.
And I personally am averse to the film industry taking political sides and making a misrepresentation of a story to satisfy a political, entity.
It's quite rampant these days.
It's not good.
It's
not good because cinema has its own respect and a responsibility. We have a responsibility towards the people. Like there are 4 pillars of democracy. Cinema is also a pillar for society. So we have a social service to society. And cinema influences society in their day-to-day lives, their day-to-day living and styling of clothes, in the marriages or building homes,
Every single part of your life.
Everything, it influences. So if cinema can play a big role as an influencer, and you can make, I'm not saying, okay, make yourself a tight jacket, you can't move, you just go be a good. There is a way of expressing.
The poetic license, like you said.
Poetic license, there's a way of describing something nice in a nice way. You don't have to take the wrong way and to rub it in there. So this is, cinema is a huge power.
Right.
I must tell you a backstory of Dosti.
Tell us, please.
Yeah,
yes.
This is very, very interesting.
Yeah.
Tarachand Barjatia was the producer.
Yes.
First time Satyan Bose met me, he was my neighbor in Juhu. I was hardly about 21 years old. And he used to take his 2 dogs for a walk on the beach every day. And I used to admire those Alsatian dogs. I'm a big dog lover.
Okay.
So I used to cuddle them. Then he used to say, "Hello, how are you?" I said, "I'm fine, Dada." He was a Bengali.
Yes, he was.
Satyan Bose. The day came, he knocked my door and he said, "I want you to push my car."
Okay.
I said, "Okay." I came down. He had an old Morris, pushed and started. So this became too often. So I said, "Dada, why don't you buy a new car?" No, this is English car.
Yeah.
I have to keep it well and all that. Suddenly one day he knocked my door again. I said, "Dada, you want to push?" No, I've come to push you.
Okay.
Give you a push. He took me to Tarachand Barjatia. Tarachand Barjatia, I was sitting there right opposite him. Dada was sitting on the left, right, on my right. And he's explaining that this young man has got good future and he will be able to do this role. So he looks at me as if I was nobody. He says, "Yeah." Then my ego was hurt. So what I did, I looked back. I said, "You're talking to me?"
Okay.
Then he took a little cognizance of it. Then he said, okay, Dada, we'll go ahead. He says, he said, "Come to my office, we'll sign the agreement." Now, this is a very funny story. I think I cannot tell the other part of it because still the family is known to our family.
Okay.
I'll conceal some part. So he mentioned to me, "I'll give you 15,000 rupees for this role." 15,000 rupees was a big
amount. Yes.
Amount in those days. Because the budget of Sangam was 64 lakhs and our story was 4 lakhs.
Okay.
Anyway, he wrote down a check advance and he gave it to me. And then the rest of the story I'll skip. So, but he became very fond of me. So when Dosti was a runaway hit, he says, "Son, come to my office." I said, "Okay, sir, I will come." So when I was there, he took his accounts book and he was showing it to me. "See, 64 lakhs Dosti has passed. Budget is only 4 lakhs. And Sangam is doing 60 lakhs. The budget is 60 lakhs.
Yeah.
So in terms of success, we are far more superior to Sangam."
Correct.
And this was narrated to me by Tarachand Barjatia himself, as I am saying, exactly this way. So then you realize that sometimes if you put, like Pushpa, may not have been a big budget film, except the actor may have taken a lot of money. But if you make a good story, which catches the imagination of the people, it's a success.
Right. Completely agree. So I would slowly want to shift towards another interesting topic. A facet of you that a lot of people do not know, that you're a very good businessman, an astute businessman, I would say. Because I'm a Bangalore boy, and from very young time and even now, whenever we pass by Golden Palms, everybody says, "This is Mr. Khan's property. This is Mr. Khan's resort." So starting from there, so take us through your business journey as a business person, moving a little bit away from cinema. How did it go, and what is happening now? What else are you doing? Where else are you doing?
You see, yes, Golden Palms I made because I wanted something new in my life. It was a challenge.
The Asia's largest pool.
Yeah, exactly. So the idea came to my head, why not make a good big resort and so on. I made Golden Palms. So everyone was impressed with the contours and the size and everything. And I romanced with Golden Palms for a long time. Then I wanted something bigger. Then my entrepreneurial spirit or drive made me think of a plan to launch a 10,000 crore rupee park, theme park, called the Seven Cities Theme Park, which Mr. Akhilesh Yadav had cleared all the necessary work, including a 200-page definitive agreement.
In Agra?
In Agra.
Right.
We were good to go. Then there was a political change of a government. The new government, they wanted to rescind the old agreement which I had, including government orders and all. And the park was notified, 1,000 acres of land, just across Taj Mahal on the Jamna. It was a beautiful sight. And the theme of my park was Ramayana and Mahabharata.
Okay.
Put together. The size and scale, the American advisors and American engineers who were working with me, they used to call me Excellency. I said, "You're embarrassing me." He said, No. He says, even if you see Disney has one castle, so you have something which we've never imagined. So this is going to be the world's largest and the best park.
Okay.
So I was really passionate about it, and I moved a lot. But unfortunately, I had to bear a huge loss because of the thing, and still stuck in limbo. Mr. Yogi Adityanath, I'm saying on record, I met him through my very dear friend, the Member of Parliament, Ms. Hema Malini. And he did say to me one and a half year ago that if you come and give me a fresh proposal, I'll reconsider.
Okay.
So unfortunately, due to the various conditions, change of circumstances, the then investors are not interested.
Okay.
And that has refrained me. So my entrepreneurship away from films have come to rest there.
Okay.
And now I'm just planning my films.
Right, sir.
It's not that I'll not do the park if the opportunity comes to me, because I still have the wherewithal. Because the money I've spent is a huge amount of money. I had international experts working on me, with me, who have worked on the Disney National Park, Disney Park,
Disneyland,
Disneyland and other things. So now I'm concentrating only on films, and I've just got one small project here in Bangalore. Can't name the big builders. Joint development of a housing project, fairly large size. Besides that, I am focusing on films.
I would want to talk to you about Feroze Khan Sahab. He's of course a legend because I think he brought some sort of a Western, nature into Indian cinema. Because we had Raj Kapoor and other people, but you and Feroze Khan Sahab had a different, range altogether. And I would like to point out Dharmatma. Right, he was the first one to even try to localize the idea of Godfather in India, which had greats like Marlon Brando or Pacino or even De Niro. I want to ask you this question: when Dharmatma released, I mean, you had no release that year. I think the next year you had Nagin that released. So was there a sense of competition between you brothers? Was there a sense of insecurity that probably Feroze is a bigger actor or perhaps a bigger star than I am? Was there some sort of a competition?
No, not at all. Because, see, circumstances, he got into films before me. But by sheer destiny. My Dosti became a super hit.
Correct.
And 10 Lakh became a super hit.
Yes, yes.
My Ek Phool Do Mali became a super hit.
Yes.
My Mela became a super hit. So Feroze was left behind.
Acha, okay.
Mela, before Mela.
Hmm.
Before Mela we worked together. So the producer comes to me and he says, I want to make this film Mela with you and Pran. I said, Pranji is more than 25 years older than me. How will he look my brother? I said, why don't you cast Feroze as my brother and then both of us will work together. So the producer was not very happy in those days to cast Feroze. And because he did not command that kind of a status.
Right.
So he came in. Because I said, I will not do this film. If you want to take Feroze, I'll come.
Okay.
And this is a whole fact. And the picture was a super hit. Then Feroze also took off.
Right.
He made some extraordinary films.
Yes.
He changed the trend of cinema music.
True.
And he made Dharmatma. And when he was making Dharmatma, I remember telling him, why do you make a copy of Godfather? He will laugh and say, a good copy is better than a bad original.
In his typical style.
In his cowboy style.
Yes.
So Feroze and we were very fond of each other, and I miss him. And he was a very good maker. And he brought new style to cinema. And his song picturization, his song recordings, all that. Cinema, Feroze was a big contributor to Hindi cinema.
Completely, yes.
Yeah. And we had a very good relationship. For example, he would love to go hunting.
Acha.
In those days, hunting was allowed. You could take a license and go and kill a tiger.
Correct.
Or any animal, a deer or something. So he said, come, let's go. Let's go. I said, look, the industry in those days was on strike for 3 months, 4 months. Nothing to do. So we all landed in a place called Gadarwada in Madhya Pradesh with all our wives and friends, big troop of people.
Right.
We got the collector's house in the middle of the jungle. And we in great style, we had sent a whole team of servants with our stocks and supplies and food and drinks and everything. So they'll go and set up.
Right.
So when we arrived, that everything should be okay.
Right.
So we spent about 10 days. So one incident, he wanted to shoot a tiger. So a local shikari was deployed. And he said, we have to tie some buffalo calves here, there in suspected tiger areas. So he comes to the kill in the night. He drinks the blood and goes away. The next day he comes and eats the meat.
Achha.
So this is the trait of a tiger.
Right.
So we got information there has been a kill. So we went and inspected. There was a buffalo calf. His stomach entrails were eaten, and there was
The blood was...
blood on. It's kind of a double, and the pug marks were not large as a tiger, not small as a panther's.
Okay.
It was a big question mark.
What animal is it?
Is it a tiger or a panther? So now, Feroze tells me, you shoot a panther if it is a panther. If it's a tiger, I'll shoot. Huh?
Yeah.
So he gave me a 12-bore gun. I was quite a good marksman with 2 LG cartons. What do you call those?
The cartridges.
Cartridges.
Yeah.
And I loaded it. I was sitting on the extreme left and he was sitting on the extreme right. It was a very cold night. And it was a very skimpy tree, about hardly 12 feet high. On a khatia, which was tied, improvised,
Yeah.
And we were supposed to be sitting there, and this guy who's a guide, the chacha, he said, don't breathe through your nose because the tiger can hear it in the night. So breathe through your mouth.
Huh.
So we were breathing.
Huh.
So cold. Feroze said, let's drink. So I poured in paper cups some rum. And I offered him one. And we were just sipping rum. And suddenly, see, in the night, even a tree leaf falls to the ground, you hear that.
Yeah.
We did not know when this animal came. We just heard in the pitch dark a very strong bones, jaws breaking bones. Tam.
Okay.
We got alerted. So I took the glasses, I poured it all on my sweater, took my gun, and the center chap was a sportsman.
Yeah.
And Feroze was a big gun. Feroze gave the nudge, and Spot fell short. What we saw was a huge panther. His face was inside the calf's stomach.
Right.
He looked up like this with blood. And Feroze forgot that I'm supposed to shoot. He forgot. He got excited and he shot the panther. The panther buckled and jumped up about 10 feet in the air, fell and attacked our morcha.
Okay.
And right on us. And at that time, I opened both my barrels. That blast thwarted him. He fell down and he ran across. Feroze Khan has to be Feroze Khan. He says, come, let's go and get him. I said, listen, have you read the famous author?
Rudyard Kipling.
There's a park in UP.
Jim Corbett. Yes.
James Corbett said, a dead panther is only on this wall.
Oh, okay.
If he's a wounded panther, he's the most dangerous animal. You should not go after wounded panthers. If you're my brother, you'll come. Otherwise, I shall. Hell, I'll go alone. So I said, okay. So I can't leave him.
Yeah. So
both of us walked, and it was so dark, and this little Munzir Charlie, this so small little fellow, was wearing a 12-watt battery, and the torch. We tripped, and in the nala we fell.
Oh, okay.
So by training, the gun was in our hand. The gun was never released. We came down to the edge of this nala. Battery was lost. Light was lost. It took about 10-15 minutes to fetch it and find it and fix it back. And they said, okay, let's go up. So we came. We stood by a big thicket of bamboo. I said, no, where do you want to go? You can't see a thing. Finally, I convinced him. I said, I'm shooting the call to our people to come back.
Right.
Because Shikari said, when you want us to come, you give us a signal. So we gave a signal shot. Then they came. They said, I missed. Feroze says, no, I said, you did not miss. It's a stomach shot. This man comes and finally he says, no, sir, you did not miss. It's a stomach shot. You carry on, we'll get the carcass and come.
Oh, okay.
I was brushing my teeth very early in the morning. We had hardly didn't sleep by the well. And we get a signal shot, and we see the jeep with this big carcass and being driven up. And I woke up Feroze. Feroze came, a big panther, and it was shot in the stomach. Right. And you know where they found it? The same thicket we stood and we were talking. Yeah. He could have easily attacked us. Right. So that was one of the real stories. I mean, I've described it in my book. And my book was quite a challenge to me. See?
Yes, I wanted to come to that. There are two books that you have written. One is The Best Mistakes of My Life, and the other is Assalamu Alaikum.
The Best Mistakes of My Life, when Millie Aishwarya of Penguin approached me And I sent the title of my book along with a little synopsis. She says, "What a lovely title, Mr. Khan. Oh, what does it mean?" I said, "You read the book and check." Anyway, I wrote the book. This was during the COVID time.
Right.
I finished it in 6-7 months.
Okay.
It was more extensive. It had more bite, but Millie, Aishwarya, and censored a lot of it. I wrote this book all factual. Whatever I've written in the book is all factual. My encounter with the big and the mighty people of the world,
right.
May they be prime ministers or kings or anybody, including Chidambaram, my friend. I've written about him. And the Maharajas I knew, my personal friends. And the cocaine king I met in Turkey.
Okay, yeah.
It was very interesting. You must read that.
Yes.
It's actually, some people are asking me to make a biopic, not a biopic, not on this TV platform.
Like a series.
They want me to make series, and I might give those rights to somebody to make it if they will make it the way it should be done. So, the other book I've written is Assalamu Alaikum Watan.
Yeah.
I have a message to the Muslim youth,
right,
that you have been a big contributor to this country for 1,000 years, have made the richest country in the world. And why are you sitting in the back corners? Get yourself educated and get good jobs and get good positions and pay the taxes and help the exchequer and strengthen the government. This is my message.
Right.
By educating oneself, by inspiring them, by giving the stories of real Muslim kings and other great entities who have served this country.
Right.
So this is a very good book, if you can read it also.
Yes, sir.
It has been well received. And the first book, The Best Mistakes, I received the best autobiography of the year 1920 from Times Now as the best autobiographer. So that gave me a consolation.
Right.
And it has a 5-star rating.
Right.
And well received. And people are still talking about it. So you see, making a film is not it's not so hard as writing a book.
Okay.
Book, you're alone yourself. You have to go back into the journey of those zones and flesh out all the stories through your memory lanes and put it together. You're alone in this work.
Right.
Whereas film, in comparison,
you have a crew that lasts.
Crew.
Yeah.
You see the whole crew. The whole crew, right from the producer, the writers, the directors, and the technicians. The whole crew makes the film. This is the difference between making a film and writing a book.
So, could you share some incidents from your film life that have remained with you, that you still remember? Probably some funny moments, some daunting moments that you've experienced.
Daunting moments, I have many, but I can never forget this. I was shooting in Kashmir. I had just got back about 5 o'clock in the evening. I was removing my makeup in my room in the Palace Hotel. I heard some kind of very strange sound, like a flowing river, like.
Yeah.
I was quite curious, and before I could look at the door opened, and there were at least more than 100 girls. Just came in like a flow of water.
Okay.
And they pinned me down. I was shocked. I got up. I said, "What are you doing? What are you doing?" And I had to run out of my room, and they were chasing me and through the corridor, and security came, and it was a big scene. Who were these ladies? They were college girls. They had come to know that I was there. They all plucked courage and said, "Come, let's go to his room." And one was kissing me here, one was catching me here. I was quite flattered at the same time.
Yeah.
I was quite taken aback because such an experience I never heard from any of my colleagues, my actor friends like Rajesh Khanna and all those people.
Yeah.
They said, we never had this experience. I said, I don't know what this is about. So, and then they had to I had to give them autographs each and one peck on the cheek for them to leave.
Okay.
Because that was a condition.
Yeah.
So I had to do that. So that was one of those funny things in my life.
Right.
Like this, I had a very good life. I have no regrets. I'm very grateful to my family,
right,
my children, my wife, my friends, and all those people who helped me in my career. And I thank the people of Bangalore, the city of my birth.
Right.
I thank the people of Bombay, my Karma Bhumi, my Janma Bhumi here, my Karma Bhumi there. And I'm very proud to be an Indian citizen. And I'm very proud of my country. To the extent I'm very possessive of my country, I do not want any harm to fall. So this is how I live. I always wave the flag like a little ambassador wherever I go.
Right.
You know, life goes on.
Truly, sir.
So thanks very much.
It was our pleasure, sir. Thank you so much for joining us.